and it's funny because so many people, I mean, not so many, I'd say the vast majority of people who give me advice or who give anybody trying to pursue anything advice are people who've never done it. And if they tried to, they didn't succeed in any fashion at it. It doesn't come from any experience except either failure or never having tried in the first place.
Talk that shit, Words. Why am I listening to people on the sideline? I'm out here playing in game 6 of the finals. And some random dumb fuck is trying to tell me how I don't have the heart to make it. And they've never done shit in their life. They can barely even wake up in the morning to fucking walk their dog, and they just let them shit in the house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, where's your discipline at, bitch?
The vibes. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Yeah. Episode issue motherfucker 196. Yeah, boom. We already here. What?
Big number.
196, bro. Shit.
Yeah. As a dope Mickey Diamond shirt you got there, Carl.
That's right. Shout out.
Yeah. Hey, yo, no homo. Primo Jack, what you wearing?
But what's homo about that statement, bro? I'm wearing this what would machine guns do shirt, man.
Hey, yo, man, you know you ask girls on the phone what you wearing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but see, man, you be in another dimension, Jack. I just don't understand. Yeah. Like everything you're cautious about everything you say. That's crazy.
I don't care. But anyway, we have a real special guest on here. We should have had him back a long time ago, but we booked up like 8 months ahead of time. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Word. But we got my man Words on the horn. You know what I'm saying?
Part 2.
Yes.
Part 2.
Yeah, part 2, man. Primo's here this time, so that's
exactly. Yeah, I wasn't around the last time. Now I get to kick it, man.
And I had a malfunction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So boom, we 100% in the build. How you doing, my guy?
I'm good, man. How you doing, man? We just finished dropping a record with your voice all over that shit, brother. So appreciate it.
True indeed. I'm on 1, 9, 14, and 20.
Yo, you intro it. You transition it throughout and you outro it. And I had a few people comment and be like, it wouldn't have been the same without Lukey. And I was like, that's exactly what I heard.
So that's what's up. Yeah. That was all Words' idea right there. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on the horn. And he said, he gave me all the instructions. I think I took a little longer to get it done. Yeah.
Greatness always takes time and the vision. You saw the vision and you know what I mean? You caught the play, understood the assignment. And, it's beautiful as an artist to have people that when you can communicate your idea and kind of take what you see and hear and you hear and hear and give it to them and then give it back to you and you'd be like, man, you fucking nailed it. It was a personal record. So big ups to Lukey, man. Thank you so much for coming through and blessing that. I really appreciate it. You wouldn't have been the same record without you.
Thank you for letting me be a part. Let's go back real quick because you've had a lot of albums come out since the last time we had talked. And that's the last one.
Busy.
Yeah.
You had a lot just this year.
Yes. And definitely. Curse Words and Dark Arts with Dark Arts. Mm-hmm. Before that, no. After that is Weapon X with IQ.
Weapon X was first.
It was.
Then Curse Words and Dark Arts.
The Project Seavers. Like I said,
you're on night, bro.
Hell yeah, yo. We
locked in. 2 touchdowns, 1 game,
Yeah, but
it's been a lot. It's been a lot happening.
Machine Mouth 2.
Machine Mouth 2.
Yeah. Then you put Machine Mouth 1 on streaming services. That was out in 2001. So I'm saying, but that's on streaming services now. Machine Gun.
21.
Machine Mouth. Yeah. Machine, yeah. I said 2001? God dang.
Indeed, man. Yo, we living in that nostalgia.
I was still in high school.
2001 to us now, bro.
Hey, yo, son, everything, yeah. But still, we look young, though. You got some people that look horrible. When Cash Money was taking over from 99 2000, they was making bad decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Wayne looks like some kind of alien drug addict.
He did a lot of drugs, bro. It's too much drugs.
Alcohol syndrome baby or something. I don't know, man.
He did.
Yeah, he's always looked like that, though.
Remember when he dropped the first record, The Block is Hot, right? And he wouldn't swear on it. He was like a young kid. He wouldn't swear because he didn't want to insult his grandma. He didn't want to offend his grandma. Mm-hmm. So I always found that like very interesting from an artist's perspective. How as a youngin he could have such deep conviction. Like, nah, I'm gonna curse on my records, even though he's rolling with Hot Boys and Manny Fresh and all them. And and doing that. And then to come and kind of become the artist he became was very like, wow, damn. It's kind of like, you know, when Pac went from Dear Mama to, you know, Hit 'Em Up type shit.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, Wayne went on a trajectory, man. Like, one thing about Lil Wayne, I think that everybody has to honor is just like you said, man, he started rhyming at such a young age. He's put in a lot more mileage, consequential mileage at that, than a lot of people in hip hop, man. Like, he was
doing that volume.
Hey man, love him or hate him, man. He's cut his teeth and he's trained and he's been in the studio being a professional rapper for a long time, being an MC for a long time. And that mixtape run, like you said, I bet you, to your point, I bet that was right when, after his emancipation, let's say, when he was finally like, yeah, I can say whatever I want now. And that's when he was just going into, you know, his drugs and licking pussy from the back verse every rhyme that he made, you know.
He was part of what was like that the epic mixtape run that we had when we had 50 Wayne, Gucci, Saigon was in there, D Block. Where it was like, people were more excited about mixtapes than they were albums. Albums were kind of like this the studio shit, you know, we're like, yeah, whatever, there's a couple bangers on there, but it was the mixtapes where we put on from front to back and we just like, those were gonna play the albums all day, right? So
absolutely. Yeah, them drama mixtapes, man, all them DJ drama tapes.
Affiliates.
Affiliates in general.
J Love, J Live. J Live. He had a couple Ghostface mixtapes and a Nas mixtape.
Mobb Deep, some of his Mobb Deep. Just the underground stuff. It was because it was so pristine, because it was like on top of it, you'd get like really dope shit blended and mixed, but you'd also get so much stuff you'd never heard, right? Like the idea of a guy with, you know, an industry style MC spitting on beats that, you know, we already love from other MCs. It was like this concept that kind of took the dopest from here, and put them together, which, I mean, I guess was kind of the concept. That was kind of what I was trying to bring back to life in a way with the Machine Mouth series, was just where it's bars. You know, you'd have a whole mixtape, there'd be no hook on the whole thing. You'd have 35, 40 songs on it with no hooks on it, no choruses, and you'd listen to that shit like crazy. So when I did those Machine Mouth ones, you know, I used the Conway beats, the Machine Mouth, you know, and with DJ Invasion on this one. And that was really what that one was about. And it was like going back to that point in time where that was inspiring me to just spit bars, you know, and write, and we'd be writing the Premiere beats and Havoc beats and, you know, whatever. And, you know, that like really fed the fire for that record. So like there's, you know, I don't like to toot my horn on a lot of records. I hope people like them, but I really feel with the Machine Mouth too, that I brought like ferocity, and I came and tried to really encapsulate that time frame where all you wanted to hear was the hardest bars, the wickedest wordplay, rhyme schemes, and shit that made your head spin, and you wanted to just hit rewind right away. Yo, what did he just say? And, you know, and I think we did a good job, and the fans were really impressed with the record. It's the only one that I did, and I wish that we'd like made a bigger deal out of it. I don't think we realized how much people wanted the double disc, because we put in the second disc with DJ Invasion, mixed it all together as one solid track. So if you bought the CD, it came with a second disc, which is all the same songs and a couple variations that DJ Invasion did. Shout outs to DJ Invasion, my man. But it was all just one track. So it was like 39 minutes long of just like blending it together.
I like that. It's like a tape.
Dude, it is. I've been offered $200 USD for my personal copy of it that I have shrink wrapped in my collection. They're like, I'll give you $200 USD for it, plus I'll pay the shipping. And I was like,
oh, wow.
I really didn't. And I didn't know how to take that. You know, it's selling a lot not a lot, but it's selling high on the Discogs. And there's like a lot of people trying to get at it. And I didn't anticipate that with a mixtape style record. I really didn't think people would want that so badly. And I felt like I underestimated people's thirst for that raw mixtape style bar work. And so I apologize to anyone who sees this and wasn't able to get at it and didn't get a copy. You know, like I said, we underestimated the market's hunger for that shit. So it's out. People want to hear it, man. So then
a part 3.
I don't know if we're going to do the Machine Mouth Part 3, but I'm going to tell you, me and Invasion have been talking about doing something similar, but not trying to overextend that. There's only so many Conway the Machine beats I like enough to rap on anyway.
What up?
Yo, and Lukey, funny enough, that was where I first heard you. It was on the if it bleeds, it can be killed record. I was like, man, I swear I heard that guy on a podcast somewhere, and that was back in the fucking days. And yeah, you really are the skit god, bro. You really know how to bring characters to life, man. You know, I hope more dudes are hollering at you to bring your character into their art, bro. Some people are just meant to do certain shit. It's crazy. You just like, no, I'm the skit god, son. Like, don't even fuck around.
Well, I just be saying shit, bro. I don't even know, man. But those visuals you have definitely for the Machine Mouth 2, the visuals all look great, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's another thing that draws attention to you. You know what I'm saying? The visuals
for doing all those, you know, like, you know, he's a great director. He does a lot of stuff for the homie Sazy here out of Canada. So I mean, he's doing this thing. I hear a lot of people talking about him right now. I've known him a long time, so we've been coming up together as Canadian MCs for a long time. So shout out to Sazy, shout outs to Frank Films for bringing that aesthetic. Sometimes
shout out to Frank.
A lot of guys with a camera, you know, and you tell them what you want and what you're kind of looking for, and they, you know, he found a lot of the locations, and he's like, nah, this is perfect for this. I'm telling you, we got to do it right here. Just trust me. Stand behind this statue.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of guys who will carry a camera around and they'll just film you, and you know, that work will speak for itself. But when you find guys who really know the camera and you can trust them, where I don't have to tell him things, you know, I'm pretty hands-on with my stuff. You know, Lukey can attest as far as, you know, some of the stuff he's done for me where I have very specific visions. And Frank was like, just trust me, you know, and he's like, I got you, bro. Don't worry, man. I see it. And he's like, and he did it every time. So, you know, shout outs to him. And it's great to have guys who can kind of, you know, encapsulate my character as an artist and bring me out and kind of bring out the best, and me be able to trust them and not have to, like, you know, worry that it's going to look like shit.
No doubt.
All right. This what's up, man. Word. Now, always your titles mean something different, like the Weapon X, you know what I'm saying? The Logan statue, how you can beat everybody up, you know what I'm saying? Because you're trained, you know what I'm saying? Well, I saw you training. I feel you. Yeah, we actually saw you training Danielson, you know what I'm saying? That shit was dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, throwing real punches. A lot of people don't know how to throw a punch, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of them, you know what I'm saying? Word.
So, yeah. Motherfucker on the basketball court, son. Breaking ankles and shit, you know what I mean?
No, he throws punches and stuff on the basketball court. He does MMA on the basketball court because he's a fucking hack.
Hey, yo, shout out to my homie Tom. You know what I'm saying? They made a rule. He said it wasn't talking about me. They said you can't foul intentionally no more. If a bigger guy gets you in the post, you can't foul him. I said, if you don't want to get touched, go play ping pong, go run the track, go swim. You know what I'm saying? Fouling is a part of the sport. And I'm not going to let this.
No, it's not. That's why there's penalties for it.
Exactly. Get the ball, bro.
To discourage people from fouling.
Call ball.
You know, but the real ones are just looking for when no one's looking, they want to sneak that elbow in. You know, give me that shit, man. A little bit of blood keeps it exciting, man. Like,
Draymond Lukey.
Yeah. Okay, words.
Spinning elbow.
That's with the whistle. When you have a whistle, I'm giving the elbow. I'm hitting you in the kidney. I'm kicking you in the balls. Not kicking you, probably hitting you in the balls. I'm doing with a whistle. When you play in a real game, whatever, primo jab. But in a pickup, no, we're all friends. But if this 6'8" dude,
this coming from the dude that made God Bless Beats bleed in a pickup game.
It was an accident.
You guys are crazy hilarious with it. The competition is fierce, and that's what we need, man. More healthy competition rather than jealous competition.
That's what I hear. Times. That's what I hear in your raps. You know what I'm saying? I hear the if anybody want to spar, let's spar. That's what I hear in your voice, and I think that's what hip hop is, the gladiator sport.
Yeah.
So when we first interviewed you and we talked about the martial arts. And everything that you did or done in training, and the rollouts you did for fighters and stuff, I was like, yo, this makes sense. Like, it's verbal sparring is what occurs when you listen to a Words record. You know what I'm saying? Word. And I fuck with it. I fuck with it, man.
I like that. You know, when I wanted to, so as like I'd say all the albums except The Path of Broken Glass, which is why I wanted to make that album the way it is and why I had such a vision for it, because I felt with all the other albums, I really came out sparring, a lot of bars, a lot of punchlines, a lot of, you know, similes and double, triple entendres. And it's great to let people know you can spit like that. You know, bring it like that. But I wanted to show people that I could bring an album that had substance, that had pieces of me in it, not just, you know, dope bar work and a couple tracks that, you know, concept tracks from the heart, but a real album that flows together and people can walk away feeling like, you know, maybe they know me a little better as a person rather than just an MC or a battle rapper or, you know, an ex-fighter or anything like that. So,
right.
Yeah, I love that title. I mean, I thought that was just an ill title, but also I think it, just like you said, it symbolizes kind of somebody who's gone on a journey, right? You know, and who expects that life is pain, you know, the pain of the journey, but you still walking, you still moving because it's you on that path. And I mean, working with Vanderslice, obviously, I mean, he's somebody who's going to lace you and get you right. I mean, was that all done just over him sending you a pack, or was it like, hey, you know, let's try something out, and then it just started to gradually grow? Like, how did you build that joint?
Him and I started talking about everything but music. We had very similar views about a lot of things going on, and we just started talking. I think I commented on a story post.
That's how it usually starts with that guy.
And he responded, and we started talking. And, you know, I think we were talking for a couple hours just about a bunch of different shit and, you know, some real life, some street shit, some real shit. And he's like, yo, if you ever want to make a joint. And I was like, man, I've been trying to make, I mean, he's been on my radar since like 2005, 2006. I had a homie from message boards who's like the old message boards and shit. He's like, yo, this guy Vanderslice, I'm telling you, your style and his style. So as soon as I heard his name in the, you know, within the industry, I'd already heard it. So I've been trying to work with him. I'm like, dude, I've been trying to work with you like 15 years plus. So, I mean, I'd be down to make any music if you want to start building a record. And he was like, let's fucking do it.
That's dope.
So he sent me 8-pack. I think I picked 1 or 2 out of it and I recorded those. And then when he heard them, then we started talking. Once I gave him a couple tracks, that was when he kind of came back and we started to really reconfigure how we were going to approach it as an album. And, you know, then I got a pack and, I had some real shit going on in my life at that time, some really trying stuff that I had to get through, man. So that album, I wrote it as I was getting through some really foul shit going on around me that I had to navigate and play damage control as well. I wrote it in pitch blackness with candlelight and recorded it. So I wrote like 20 of those songs, 19 of those songs, like just in darkness and candlelight, and recorded it like that between like 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. So it was really, I really locked myself away for it. Like I really put myself into that album. And I wanted to impress Vanderslice. I wanted to show him that I wasn't going to fuck around, that I was going to give him cause he's like, you want to do a 22 track album? Cause the you know, on the line it's 20 songs, but if you bought the CD, it's 22 songs or the cassette, whatever. Shut up bars over BS for the physical press. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure with them. It's sold out, so if you didn't get it, you know, whatever, holler at me for some.
They've been hooking you up with some really creative shit too.
Yeah.
Shout out Ronnie the Explorer, man. Shout out Ronnie the Explorer.
Oh yeah, that 3 touchdowns. I don't want to get off topic, but that 3 touchdowns in one game, 4 touchdowns in one game. The Al Bundy versions were fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I got that one.
Hit the mark. And again, that's another one that people really, you know, wanted to get a hold of after it was already kind of gone and sold out. But, you know, it was the novelty of the cover, because Ronnie did such a great job on the cover, kind of emulating it, bringing Al Bundy into a PlayStation format was fucking brilliant. I don't know how he got the actual images that look like Al Bundy on the back with the numbers and shit. It was wild, but he did a great job. But, you know, I really wanted to impress Vanderslice with this record and show him that if we were going to agree to do such a long lengthy album, and he was going to invest so much of his production into me, that all right, I'm going to show him. So I really gave 110% to that. And shout out to Vanderslice for probably being not only one of the dopest humans I've worked with in music in recent times, but also one of the easiest producers to work with back and forth, man. He's really, top notch at what he does, top tier, and he's a professional in all senses of it, except for his fucking big mouth.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
That's dope.
He's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Without even trying, man. He just tells it like it is, man. He's just, ain't no lies to that man.
Most of the dopest and creative people of us are funny like that. You know what I'm saying?
His status is from when he reposts shit that he posted like 10, 11, 12 years ago. It's absolutely hysterical. Like most people's old stories and posts don't age well. His are fucking...
His are perfect.
On point, man.
Yeah.
Sure. So indeed, now
he's a great human, man. He's a gift. He's a gift to us.
One of the greatest things.
He just dropped that joy with Nems and UFO.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Feeve.
He did.
Also, Feeve had a fender bender. Y'all saw that shit?
No.
Nah.
He got a car accident, man. His car was fucked, and then the other cars were fucked even worse. They had a stretcher. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't on the stretcher, but I was shit like, damn, man.
He okay?
In New York, he's all right, yo. He had a fender bender. But one of the greatest things about what I like about this album is, first of all, it's longer than 10 songs.
Projects.
Most songs 10. Then we finally have some songs with 3 verses.
Yeah. I think it's again, just going back to the title alone, I think it's the discipline of what you're expecting
there we go.
from,
word.
From that project.
See, I didn't do that on purpose either. Say word. My bad, pretty much that. Go ahead.
No, that's all I had to say. Oh, word. I see what you said there. Yeah. No, man. I mean, it's again, the way you just broke down, how you approached it and the appreciation that you had for working with Vanderslice and everything. I mean, yeah, man, that's it, man. The title is perfectly befitting of it. Yeah, man. I want some more visuals to come out, man. The one visual that came out too long ago, it's about time for another one. Right now we in May. The first visual came out in what? January, February, something like that?
Well, you mean like videos? Like
music video shit? Yeah, music video.
DJ and
I see where I was supposed to do a video, but just, the date that we had it booked and everything was really pushed. We really pressed that one to the end, The Path of Broken Glass. We decided, we're going to make this 22 track album. I hit up bars. I'm like, I swear I'll have it done to you guys by this day. I'm like, what day do you guys have to the next available? They're like May 6th, which was like maybe a month. And I'm like, all right, we'll get it done.
Wow.
So everything was crunched like this.
I could never do that.
Videos. I had a date lined up, but the director had some family pressing business. I believe he had his kids that day and he wasn't able to make it out, and there was really no other date. So we just I'm like, you know what? We're going to let this album do its thing and see what it does. Rather than try and push too late into it and push videos out, long after the actual release. Because we're not sure if we're going to put it on DSPs or anything. We put a few songs up, but it
was on Bandcamp for a quick second, for a blip on Bandcamp.
It's there.
Yeah, put it on Bandcamp so I can download it. Yeah,
it's on Vanderslice's
page.
But you can only stream, I believe, there's only 5 or 6 songs out of the bunch that you can actually listen to. The rest you have to buy the album to hear them. Including,
I like that.
I left them your intro because, man, there's 2 albums I've made where the intros, 3, where the intros were just like, I couldn't have asked for anything better. And that was Weapon X, which was all high Q. He did that whole thing. Mm-hmm. Same with Project Cerberus. That was all high Q. That had nothing to do with my vision. He just came up and then, except for me picking the beat and going, that's the intro. But anything you put over it. And then this one, when I heard this intro, when I heard the beat right away, I was like, that's the intro. And I hear Lukey Cage all over it. And so before I kind of had the vision of getting you on and having you throughout the album, was the idea of the intro. I heard the beat and I was like, yo, this has Lukey all over it. I need his energy on this to kick this album off.
Dope.
What up, yo? Thank you, man. Thanks for thinking of me, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's what's up, bro. Thanks, man. Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, shit. I don't even know what to say, bro.
Lukey does good work when he does his work.
Yeah, yo. Everybody know I'm kind of a procrastinator. Not really procrastinator. I just be. I don't know what the fuck I be doing, yo.
That's what it is.
We were the ones doing school projects the night before, and our moms are staying up with us to try and help us get it done because it's like 9 p.m. and we have a whole thing we got to build out ready for school at 8:30. And
yeah, I do better with forced deadlines. Like, look, I need this done tomorrow. Really? Oh shit! Now I'll probably get it done the next day because, like, yeah. So next time, lie to me. Don't gotta. Let's say something else. Next time, tell me, yo, I need it done in 48 hours.
Yo,
I'll be like, yeah, and I got it.
So yo, shout out the bro, shout out the homie Mav.
What up, Mav?
Yeah. Big ups to the homie Mav, man. I actually talked to him this morning, man. So much love to the bro. But when we did the album and I heard that track, the beat that he's on, because he's on the path of broken glass.
Yeah.
And I heard him all over that beat right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sent it to him and I'm like, okay, this is the date. And he's like, okay, I got studio this day. And something just didn't work out. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to have it this day. I promise you. He's like, I swear to you. I'm gonna have it. I mean, I'm talking, listen, he had it in, everything's blessed. He's the man. He came through and he rocked the track. He absolutely slaughtered it. And it's my favorite song on the album that isn't like, deep, like from the heart, soul bearing a piece of me type of song.
Yes.
Right.
But in that moment when you're like, if the verse doesn't come, I've already handed in the artwork. So we've handed in the artwork. His name's on.
So he's on there. Oh shit!
He's just like my bro. I promise you, I have it. Don't you worry. He's like, I got you, and you know what I mean. And he's. I mean, I think we might have talked about this in the last interview, but I mean, he's one of those dudes where even in his music, when he speaks with power and emphasis, and he doesn't. Yeah. He speaks when he means what he says, and he says what he means, and he never says more than needs to be said. So I was like, you know what? I know homie's going to come through, but secretly I'm like stressing, like, if you're an artist, you're a worst case scenario expert in your head because everything that possibly could have gone wrong has gone wrong before. But yeah,
sweating bullets, huh?
We're gonna drop that joint on some DSPs. We got a joint. The Posse cut off that record, Broken Ratchets with B1 the Architect, HiQ, and J Carr. That's gonna drop this Friday. Which I mean I think is a hard as fuck Posse cut, man.
We in the future, man. It's already out. It dropped out. It's already everywhere. People are riding around.
Yeah, because it's next Tuesday, and the Knicks are up in the series is tied, or either Game 7 in the Knicks.
Shit, I gotta keep that in mind, man. My bad. So yeah, that shit dropped on Friday.
Yeah,
that shit's on DSPs and Bandcamp. Go check it. Broken Ratchets. Yeah, I totally forgot, man. So
it's all right. See, there you go. That's.
Hey, bro,
it's a benefit for the people. They gonna be like, oh shit, it is out. It's out right now. And they can just go and get it.
Go check it.
I always forget, yo. I always forget that we in the future. Also, I want to say episode issue 144, that's the Mav issue. And that was probably like one of the motherfucking most surprising issues
crazy
we had. Yeah, we talked about when the night ain't turned. And he wasn't going to do some dirt. That shit was insane. Yeah. Also, the Vanderslice issue, if y'all want to go back and listen to Vanderslice, is 146. You know what I'm saying? So, 144, 146 is really good joints right there. And
back issues.
Yeah, definitely.
Go dig them up. Get the lore.
All available on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. And other
really,
wherever the hell you check it out.
On a lot of new dudes. Like, I mean, you guys really give like a voice to. Because there's a collective of guys who are either doing it or guys trying to do it or guys who are, there's different levels. But you guys really take the time. Like I see the different variations of people you bring on the show, and it's like everybody, as soon as they start making a splash, they end up on the show, which is beautiful because it's like, it's kind of like a stamp of approval. It's similar to, I'd say, Bars Over BS. As far as
hopping on there, yeah.
There's certain brands and certain names and logos and podcasts and such that where, you know what I mean, being involved with them gives some credibility to the artist because of the different levels that are involved. So because you guys do a lot of stuff with, you know, you've done your interviews with everybody, from guys just coming up to guys who've been killing it for a lot of years, you know. So it gives credibility to the ones who need that, because we need the credibility in the wave. It doesn't matter what anybody says. You know what I mean? You need some people saying that you're worth listening to. And there's certain brands within the wave and within the collective of the Abyss that essentially lets people know this person's worth checking out, because these guys say, you know, he was worth them talking to, or this person's worth them pressing, you know, because I always, you know, talk about this. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if Bars hadn't have taken me on and pressed my music and given me that stamp of approval, because without that, I'm just another guy telling people I'm dope.
Oh, definitely.
I feel that. I feel that.
I want to credit a lot of that to Primo Jab, though, and I will tell you, man, you know, one of the difficult things for us is trying to keep up with everything that comes out, and there's so much new music. And you can get locked into a lot of the regular people that you've been listening to. Right. But Primo Jab is all the way tapped in, and so he's constantly, you know, giving us through his booking people for us that we need to get on our radar. Okay. And because we're booked 8 months in advance, I've got a list of artists I'm still trying to check out, because Primo Jab, he's like, trust me, this cat is dope. This dude has it.
And I mean, just even more so what you're saying, man. Hey, man, it's not me. It's y'all. It's the people who are, you know, the artists, the MCs, the producers, you know, everybody who come on the show out, like, just like you said, where it's like, part of it is, us trying to provide a place for people to, like, you know, find out about you and know what you're doing. But the other part of it is, hey, man, you making noise, you on the radar, you know, you've been doing your work. And this is us kind of saying, hey, how can we aid and assist the algorithm of having some more content out there? How you know, I mean, people need to know you making dope shit. You might just, like you said, you might just need that one person that says, hey, come on, let me put you in there. So that's what the Abyss is, man. Shining that light, bro.
This is trying. Like this when you're the artist, and you, Primo, you know, because you're actively making music, so you're tapped into an element of the artist side of things on a deep level on making the music. So it's like when you're doing this and you're trying to get heard, or you're, you know, let's say me 15 months ago, let's say before Weapon X came out with Bars Over BS, like I said, February 27th, 2024, which actually Machine Mouth 2 came out February 27th, 2025. So but before that record, I was making some dope records, and, you know, I was trying to find my own sound, kind of, you know, but at the same time, it's hard to stay inspired and motivated to keep doing it. And sometimes you need, and when you're watching everybody doing things you want to be doing, like I set very specific goals for myself, like Bars Over BS was a goal. I'm going to get my shit pressed with them. You know what I mean? And cue to everybody who thought that was impossible when I talked about it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, go fuck yourself. But there was a moment where I was really like, you know, you put so much into it. It's hard to find that grit to push forward, just like a fight. You can only get up sometimes so much before you need something extra to push you past that threshold. And as artists, we need that kind of that validation, you know, because sometimes you just want to know you're being seen when you're trying to do something specific. So when Bars put out Weapon X, regardless of how it did and what came after it, Weapon X was, and it getting pressed with them was my stamp of approval, my trophy to me that I reached the level where I was being heard, regardless of anything, you know.
It's a milestone.
And it inspired me to start pushing. Okay, I got this far. Well, I'm going to keep going harder. And without that press, I don't know if I would have, you know, even kept going in the trajectory to keep trying that hard, because I'd submitted several albums to them first that they didn't take. So, you know, and I listened back and they weren't good enough. I compare them to what I've given them since and what I did back then, and they're not at the same level. So they, you know, But when you're in the thick of it as an artist, you just personalize it. And if they had to take it, I don't know, man, how much I could have kept going and getting rejected and still getting up every day to write, record. So it's good when you guys, talk about the artist primo and how you do it, for everybody, including the artist, because there's probably a few artists who needed that validation that they were good enough to be in the conversation. Yeah. And it might have pushed them forward to keep making music. And you never know how that might drive them to become a bigger part of the conversation.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's like Lukey said at the beginning. I mean, since the last time you were on here, you've been going crazy. You know what I mean? And that's just the perfect, I think, testament to what number one, what the Abyss is about. You don't know what type of turbulence is going on down here because there's so much motion, there's so much going on. Yes. And it just takes once you find out, oh, this Words guy, what's he doing? Oh shit, Words, and now since that point, like in 2 years, you had 8 projects or 5 projects, something like that. You know what I mean?
There's more than how many?
No, it's more than that. I think you're closer on 8.
Was it 8?
You got one with.
I mean, it was end of 2023. It was issue 117.
Okay, so yep. So dang, it might have been. Yeah, because 24, you were definitely dumping in 24.
I'm pretty sure when we spoke, though, you had a copy of Weapon X, though, Lukey. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you hold it up in the conversation because you pull it out and you're like, yo, I got that record. Yeah. So that came out on February 27, 2024. So it would have had to have been 6 to 8 weeks after that because that's how long it takes for them to ship out. So,
I want to say it was like December or November that we 2023 that we recorded. Something like that.
Yeah. But that's, man, it's never give up, man. You're a fighter, and I think you get it, man. You translate that perfectly. Man. You're like, hey, man, it's over when I say it's over. When I quit, when I give up on myself, that's when it's done. You know what I mean? Until then, as long as I can push, I'm going to keep going. And that's why you're accomplishing and you're doing what you do. Because personally, I mean, that 4 touchdowns in one game is a great example.
Acapella.
Mm-hmm. That shout out Al Capella, man. Yeah, Al Capella, man.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah, you said it. You said it in Lukey version. You said the Lukey version. That's cool. But man. That came out, and that was just like, I really feel like another example of you dialing in and taking control of a concept and really being like, okay, I'm here, I'm putting this work in. Pause, Luke. I'm sorry. I'm glad you didn't say that one. But what I mean? It's like you're hitting your milestones, man. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, man. So, people gotta notice. If they're not noticing, they're not paying attention to what's going on in the world.
Real quick. Speaking of didn't notice, I didn't do the knowledge. So I saw it this morning, and I clocked into work. It's a top 50 MC list that you're on, and J Royale reposted it.
I commented on it. I didn't even know I was on the list. I saw Jay post it. And then I saw the list come up in my feed, and I looked at it to read through, and I saw my name on it, and I was like, "What the fuck, man? Word." And that I'm not gonna front. I mean, is to be on anybody's list, no matter who they are, to list me with the guys like Jay Royale. I bought Baltimore Housing Project before I was even coming back doing the Words thing. That was one of the albums that inspired me to.
That's dope.
To do what I did. So I mean, to be on a list like that, you know what I mean? And I've been talking on and off with Jay for a minute, and I can safely say that, you know what I mean, we're definitely got something coming.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, man.
Definitely something coming. And he's one of those guys who I'm an honest guy, man. I hit everybody up and let them know. Everybody who's been an inspiration to me in one way or another, I've hit them up and let them know. And we've had a conversation about it. Mav, Guy Grams, they were the first 2 guys in this thing that I was listening to their music, but they were co-signing me and telling me, you can do this shit. You can do this. You're good at my tongue, and which again, we go back to when you're coming up and you're trying to prove yourself, there's certain things that motivate you to go harder, and that was one of those things. These guys, I'm listening to their music. I'm trying to do what they're doing. I'm trying to get my records pressed with these guys and my CDs pressed with these guys. Still ain't got my records pressed, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We close. We close there. We close there. And plus, you can't take this really lightly.
The vinyl thing is just, I think a lot of guys really exasperated the resources and the novelty of being able to kind of siphon money from the fans with it. And I've had some conversations with a lot of guys who are big collector types, and they're just like, they're not as hyped on it as they used to be openly, and that's kind of sad to hear, right?
Yeah.
Recognition wise, I was on the year end for the All Time podcast with Steven and Dean Malenko.
Big up Steven.
Shout him out.
I know.
Canada in the house, boy.
Yeah, my homie. So, and I know you actually had even posted a clip of it, but we spoke heavily about you as one of Steven's front runners for Artist of the Year, Rapper of the Year. I know, there's a lot of people that definitely have really, really tapped in, and the sales that you're getting now out of Bars Over BS is a testament to that as well. It's something people need, that physical. And it was something Steven had mentioned was, it's you're bringing us back to a day where, you needed that physical copy. It's regardless of collecting, you just, having the physical CD, there's so much involved in it. So yeah, I mean, hats off to you, man.
And they really Bars really brings it back to life with, it's funny because of how many people are trying to copy what they do, they really go above and beyond with everything, like always trying to, and it's a difficult market as an artist because you have people that want to have my music that aren't interested in all the bells and whistles. They don't care about the numbers, which is always blessed that, I get a few copies and I can make sure that, a couple of the homies get it, from the homie situation. But, from the collector's standpoint, they really make sure that the guys who are into that, or the guys or girls, whoever, who are into that on the collector side, really into it, get their money's worth and get a little extra, like what they do for their groups, for their, for their core,
fans.
Supporters and their core fans, because there's people who are fans of Bars Over BS. It's not about the artist. Exactly. They'll just buy whatever Bars Over BS puts out because they just, if Bars puts them out, then
I get it.
That goes back to what you were saying before. Mm-hmm. That's that, like when you get to that certain cosign
stamp
of having that stamp, exactly. Bars Over BS, the Rap Winkle, Fuck Rap, Copenhagen,
Dope.
any of these names, Dope.
Dope was the first one.
When you get those names, it's people that are just like, oh, well, yeah, they're putting it out. So obviously I need to be tapped in. I need to know what this is.
I've heard some stories from, around the way, just where maybe so a lot of these guys, a lot of guys get gassed on their own hype. And we've seen a lot of guys come in and come out real quick and behind the scenes, it's because, well, they take things a little too seriously and think, well, I've got this now, so now I'm more important. And what I notice is guys reaching some sort of a level, and then they let everyone know my feature price is going up and everything's going up now because I've now made this accomplishment. And that translates into so many other things behind the scenes. So they're also playing that I'm more important now game with the labels. I've never had an issue with Bars or anybody I've worked with regarding money. It's always been straightforward and everybody's been honorable and everything's been great. And I never complain. I'm just happy to be heard and for people to be buying it. But some guys think that, they get gassed on their own hype and think their shit don't stink and start, changing the way they conduct themselves. And
they change up the formula, man. You know what I mean? They switch the flavor of the Pop-Tart, man. You know what I mean? They think that they got to their plateau, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh yeah, well, I guess I did this, so I can up it up. Like, no, man, stick to doing what you were doing that got you there, and you'll stay there. It's not about, okay, now I'm gonna, put a little bit more cut on the dope and try to put it out and act like it's the same thing. Nah, man, the people,
you ain't stringing about, man.
Come on, man. They found out real quick, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
People gonna go down the hill, man. People ain't gonna shop with you like that.
There's a couple things.
It is what it is. You'll learn your lesson.
A couple things. When the price goes up, sometimes it doesn't make any sense. Say your price for a feature is $1,200, and you're selling records. You're not gonna make a profit of $1,200 off that feature. Leave that feature the fuck alone. That's one thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is 11/22/2023, episode 117 came out. That was Words. So yeah.
Right before Thanksgiving. That was the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah,
something like that. Yep.
Y'all want to go back and watch that episode 117.
We dropping back issues, man. Y'all gotta go check them out.
These are important listeners to get to know the artists, get to know where everything's coming from. Oh, that's a great picture of Sheikh Hanif right there. Carl did that shit. Anyway, boom. Another thing is Dope was the first record label that everybody wanted to be on to make them go to that next level. If you look at everybody who dropped on that record label, those guys were really the top tier guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, I think it was half owned by West Side Gun. I don't think people know that shit.
People say that, right?
Very like
it says him and the purist.
The difference between Dope's approach, and I've never heard anybody actually say the name. I've only ever read it, so I wasn't sure if it was Dop or Dope or whatever.
No, it's a play on Dope.
Yeah.
But
it's British though.
They have a very, very specific sound. Very specific. Like it is a fine-tuned machine, which makes it difficult for a lot of people outside of that particular sound and musical aesthetic to have that opportunity. So hip hop needed other labels to step in that are willing to take, maybe some risks with other sounds. And
that's how Copenhagen and them came up.
Mm-hmm. What was that? Sorry, brother.
No, I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was just co-signing exactly what you said. That's how Copenhagen came up. That's how the Rap Winkle came up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they were providing those lanes for other artists that may not get that dope deal, but they going like, okay, we'll put you out. We'll run with you, and it worked for them. It actually ended, and then Bars Over BS. The Press Collective. You know what I mean?
Or Guy Grams. They got their start. They got propelled through. Grams dropped Gramzilla and War Medals.
Yeah.
And Jay Royale dropped Ivory Stoop and Baltimore Housing Project. And those were very different sounds. Like, Guy Grams is straight boom bap.
Yeah.
And Jay Royale gritty 90s boom bap-ish. So not the same sound. Dope. We all know it's dope, but at the time, what we were getting was, that very slow BPM, heavy, complex gun rhymes and punchlines and
very few drums.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of the drumless.
So listen. So on the drumless joint. So one of the tracks I ended up getting the most, where people told me they enjoyed listening to the most for the the way the song came out, was Something Profound. Which is the second. It comes right after your intro from the album, On the Path of Broken Glass. Mm-hmm. And that song, when Vanderslice sent it to me, originally didn't have the drums in, and it was this loop. But I love the loop, and I'm like, man, I don't want to just holler at him and tell him to throw some drums in it. How do I throw some panache in this idea and make it colorful, so that I'm not like going, yo, bro, throw some drums on that shit. And, so I was like, what would be dope is if maybe I rhyme on just the loop for like the first half, and then people think I'm doing the loop rap thing where there goes Words, he's doing the rhyming on the drumless loops now. And then boom, the fucking drums come in and I just finish it off like that. And that's how that one came. I was like, kind of like making fun of the drumless loop thing.
I like that. I like that because a lot of times we waiting for the drums to come in and it just never comes.
That's it.
know what I'm saying?
Those songs, you don't know if it's just a really long intro or if it's no drums are coming at all, and it ends up being disappointing because there's some that are I'm like, yo, some heavy fucking
It took me a while to get used to that.
Ain't nothing wrong with drums, man. Drums are good. We need them sometimes.
Fly Guy,
bitches like drums, man. Bitches want music with drums, so. I don't know any woman who music with no drums.
Carl sitting over there validating. Yes.
Hey yo, I did a lot of witchy earth women. Witchy earth, and they were perfectly fine with Danny Brown not rapping over no drums on that Fly God album. You know what I'm saying? Word. Yeah. But yo, I was like, damn man, when he gonna put some drum on this? Like what he's gonna do? Like
how are you gonna fuck to that, man? There's no rhythm. How do you find the rhythm? Bitches love rhythm, man.
You just leave it in and stare openly into her eyes.
I remember vividly.
That leaves so much room to have to look at them.
When I lost my virginity for the second time,
there's no music, nothing. There's just like sounds like thunderstorms and
shit. Man, you just listen to that macaroni sound, man. That's all you listening to.
When I lost my virginity for the second time, I was listening to Goo Gambino's, and the CD was skipping, and I was fucking to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, man, y'all came up rough, man. I was listening to Jodeci when I was fucking.
Nah, man, it was what we had on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was CD was skipping.
Monica, Brandy, Genuine. Fucking
Luther Vandross.
Ryan McKnight was around at that time.
R. Kelly,
John B.
I think I knew a lot of girls that were creeped out by him from back before any of the witches. Like, I don't know, there's something about
I'm from Chicago, not me. Seems like you're ready. If I turn that song on, they know. I don't even have to say no words. As soon as Seems Like You're Ready, that bass line come in.
Man, yo. I'm trying to fuck the DMX Who We Be. That's why I'm trying to pound that bitch through the fucking bed frame, man.
Ghostface Killer Cam A. That was one. That was definitely one. I definitely got some good ass on that.
I don't need no music. You know what I'm saying?
Twista, Get It Wet, and Feel So Good.
And
that Twisted Blue album. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking the Star Wars episode 4. You know what I'm saying? Word. I don't need no.
That's because you were in the future, man. I was I was out in the wild trying to get it how I live, man. You had to sneak.
I ran them numbers up. I hardly played no music. None of that shit you was talking about words. None of that shit Primo Jab. I wasn't playing no R. Kelly. I played music. I showed them pictures.
I wasn't playing that music.
Oh, it wasn't?
They was fucking bitches at their house, and they were listening to that music, so that's what we fucked to.
Oh, yeah.
That's whatever they had.
They're at my crib. They're at my crib. They had to sign pretty much that knew where I live. You got to sign the shit.
Fuck the West Side Connection over at my crib.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I was like 13 years old when that shit came out, and it was like, I make bitches bow down. I'll just put on bow down, like bow down, bitch.
Bitches make the world go. Hey, yo, that West Side Connection album, that was kind of an untouchable album, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit was raw. That shit was stupid.
The who banging joint on that is just I still put that on.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was hard as. And they never. I mean, they came up with what was it, terrorist threats or something?
Yeah, that was the second one. Yeah,
and it
wasn't that good. I was mad at them.
Yeah, because they weren't good the second time.
No, they
tried too hard the second time.
Yo, Mac 10 this Common. You know what I'm saying? And then Common was my guy, man. That was my guy.
Yeah, but Tom came back with the bitch in you and shut them down, man.
That shit was hard.
That shit was hard. Yeah,
we went hard on him, man. I'm bombing on common sense.
Yo,
they thought that they got Rashid, but we all know that Rashid treated them. That was an epic time. The Ice Cube versus Common, or the West Side Connection versus Common era. That was great. That was a great rhyming era.
That was when aggression was becoming more commonplace to hear and see.
I see what you did there.
More accustomed to it and wanted more blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't front. I like it. You know what I'm saying?
The Common album, what's it called? Can I Borrow $1?
Yes.
Yeah, Can I Borrow $1? Yeah.
That album is fucking dope, man.
It is.
Yeah. It's so different than everything else he did after that. And it's so wild because I didn't hear that album until a lot of years later.
Oh wow,
when I
really?
heard it, I'm like, yo, this is common. This is like some groovy.
Breaker 19 was on there.
Fun with the music shit.
Yeah. Hey, that was his first album, man. Resurrection is his the GOAT album.
No, it's not.
I'm not listening to you, Luke. You from St. Louis. I ain't listening to you.
No, man. I'm fucking
Resurrection is the GOAT Common album, man. Fuck that album. We talking about.
The album is amazing.
Anyway, let's move on, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, come on, bro. We talking about rapping shit, man. Yeah, great.
I was a fan of Finding Forever. I was a real fan of that album.
I like yes, Finding Forever.
One day it'll all make sense.
I like Finding Forever more better than B. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. B was a boring album.
Oh my God.
So many hot takes. Oh my goodness.
Compared to Finding, oh my God. Compared to Finding Forever, B was boring. To me, it had highlights, but Finding Forever was exciting. I get that.
He sampled Nina Simone and he can, you know what I mean? Like he killed it. Like that's the best song. It just like that's such a good
I like that we're having this debate about Common's catalog first and foremost. I really enjoy that.
Everything I find forever.
What are you talking about, guys?
And I think that the fact we can have this debate now. See, this is what I tried to do as an artist. What I'm trying to do is I don't want to have a bunch of albums that sound the same. I want to have a bunch of albums that I took different approaches so that people can debate on which one is the best.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because Common made so many diverse records, and he did take a lot of kind of risky takes, and he made music for himself a lot of the time. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. So you get different versions of him. So different people like him for different reasons, and they like different albums for different reasons. And
that's true.
I like
that's real.
Electric Circus. I like Electric Circus. Did you like Electric Circus?
Forever was decent, man. I'm not gonna hate on Finding Forever, guys. I'm not.
No, nobody's going to argue with you. Nobody's going to argue whether Grand Champ was better than It's Dark and Hell Is Hot, right? You know what I mean? These aren't arguments that anybody's going to have. If you ask anybody, what's your favorite jam? It's Dark and Hell Is Hot.
It's Dark and Hell Is Hot. Obviously, right? Am I tripping? Yeah.
It goes from the early 90s into the 2010s and 20s, and to be able to do that where people can like have these debates over which album and which era of you making music was the best. I mean, I love that shit. I mean, we don't get a lot of that anymore.
Let me ask. Hold on. I gotta ask a question.
Go, Lukey.
Please,
fine, go.
Did you like Electric Circus, people?
Oh God. No, I did not.
That's a more experimental record, man.
I loved it.
I did not like that album too much.
Yeah, hold on. We carry these styles to have you tap your head like Darius Miles. You ain't supposed to rhyme. Better off with the clothing line. It is business of pimps. Many hoes get signed. I'm like, yo, he is fucking.
He never disappoints with the rhymes, though.
Common rhyme, yeah. His rhyming is superior. It's his beat selection or the beat choices.
Nas is the worst. The beat selection. Go ahead, ask your question, man.
Yeah, Nas definitely.
Ask your question, Primo Jab.
I think we can all agree with that.
Let's be real though. Let's go back to let's say some of the album. Let's go back to It's Dark and Hell Is Hot. I was re-listening to that album recently, and I was like, those beats don't translate very well. They were very era specific.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of them where I'm just like, yo, we listened to Swiss Beats at one point. Like at one point we all listened to Swiss Beats. Like that was a good thing.
That was never a good thing.
No, I've never really liked Swiss Beats.
Most overrated producer ever. Most overrated producer ever.
I think he makes sounds and noises.
Underrated producers.
Who?
Irv Gotti.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Actually did the best beats on the It's Dark and Hell Is Hot record.
Who did Get At Me, Dog?
I'm pretty sure that's Irv Gotti.
Get At Me, Dog was my favorite. When Get At Me, Dog came out, that was it for me. I was like, yo, who is this dude?
So, that beat was actually jacked, remade, and released. And that beat was actually produced by DJ Chemo from the Rascals here in Canada.
Wow.
Really? When the Rascals were coming up, he sent out a beat pack to them. And they took it, added some things to it, made it a little bit different, sped it up a little bit, and boom, boom, boom. But it's Northern Touch.
Wow.
We notorious. Ain't nobody can hang with us. Rascals, checkmate, caught an Allen thrust. It was like one of the biggest songs in Canada in 1997.
Did they ever get credit for that?
I don't think so, but I talked to him about it in person. That's a real discussion I had in the studio with dude, and that's what I was told.
That's interesting, man.
It's the exact beat, just tweaked and a little bit, man. So that was an interesting one to me, man.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
If you listen to the two joints, they're like
interesting.
So we don't own the samples, so I guess you can. Yeah, but since they sent the pack, they already know they stole that shit. So
yeah. Let's be real. There is there's a lot. I mean, the whole fucking industry is built on thieving. I mean, I just had a conversation with someone today and found out that they got something stolen from somebody that, from another more important person. That's what it is. It's all about like people just swallowing up smaller fish underneath them, right?
You're absolutely right.
Your man's got Allah Sent Me stole from him. From Derringer stole Allah Sent Me from Vanderslice. Vanderslice had the whole beat on his page. You know what I'm saying? Derringer took it and they put it on Westside Gun shit. I don't think Vanderslice ever got credit for that shit.
Really?
I think it was Allah Sent Me. It was Allah Sent Me, I believe. Yes, it was kind of really upsetting. And
yo, that's blasphemy.
Yeah, he took the whole beat. And then the funny thing is the message, I ain't gonna get into that. Well, fuck it, I said it anyway. Derringer was like, I should have stolen it earlier.
There's so much that goes on in this right now where I was talking with Vanderslice about this, just about the level of where it almost seems like people want to use other people's ideas. Everybody wants to do shit so they see other people doing it. Nobody calls everybody on it because then they're like, oh, they're doing it. Well, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of heavy ripping off. Like when I made the Weapon X and the Cerberus record, which are themed after Logan, Weapon X, and Frank Castle.
Frank Castle, right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I really tried to because of that element. And I was like, because the Weapon X album is actually an older idea that came from everybody calling me Wolverine because of how I cut my t-shirt. It's been the same for 20 years now. And that's where that idea came from. And because there was so much usage of that concept where people are taking a concept and theming a record around it, which I think a lot of people missed the mark as far as actually conceptualizing an album around it, throwing a couple movie clips in it and throwing a couple punchlines in here that throughout to me, I mean, come on, man, you're just using something that people already know to sell your own shit. So I really wanted to make the records. I'm like, I really have to, especially with Project Cerberus, because I felt I could have gone deeper on Weapon X. I'll be honest, people say, there's a lot of people within that community who say that's their favorite record of mine, but that's the one I felt I could have delved deeper. So when I went into Cerberus, I went hard into Frank Castle to play the character.
Pause.
And good job.
And all right, word. All right, I'll walk through that shit.
Right. Sorry, man. I get it from Lukey, man. I apologize, man.
It's contagious.
I'm ashamed a little bit, but not really.
You know what I mean?
Just power through it, yo. Just power through it.
I wanted to really encapsulate the character so that I could kind of say, yo, I'm not going to play with this. I'm going to really take this. I'm going to give the fans and the listeners the actual concept that they're purchasing. If you're going to buy the cover because it's called Cerberus and it's got the Punisher skull on it, and I say it's Frank Castle themed, I want people to be like, yo, this motherfucker turned into Frank Castle and just went out shooting, bop, 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 and left the blood back. And, and that was inspired by me seeing a lot of shit. And I'm not trying to diss anybody in specific. I'm just saying that I saw a lot of things where I felt guys were just missing the mark. And I felt in hip hop, we were supposed to be original. Mm-hmm. It's not paying homage if you're using the whole marketing scheme of the movie or the video game or the TV show or whatever it is the whole characters have been taken. And then you don't get that experience within. And I feel that was not only is it selling the art form short, but I feel it's selling the fans short because that's what they're buying, you know? Yes. And we're supposed to be original. We're artists. We're not supposed to be copycats, and we're not supposed to be okay with seeing that happen around us. And then with AI happening and so much shit, it's like, man, like we're kind of, if people don't start standing up and being and trying to stand up for independent thought and ideas and calling some things out, we could see the death of, you know, the slow downward spiral of creativity actually existing.
That's it.
We're close to there right now with the younger generation, because a lot of this shit sounds the same for the younger generation. Honestly, I can't tell the difference between artists. I just can't. They found a formula. They stick with it, and then it's like copy and paste. Paste, delete, because there's no staying power with these artists. Also, I want to go back to saying, like, in that top 50 list, there's like 12 niggas in Umbrella and 12 niggas in Feed the Family. So there's not a lot of spots you thinking about it in top 50.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, man.
Your numbers are off, sir.
Just like I'm saying, Mac Nice is 6'10". He ain't 6'10". That's what I'm trying to say. He's like 6'7", 6'6". Anyway, boom.
Close enough. I know what you mean. I get what you're saying. There's not a lot of members. So it's not a small accomplishment that people are putting you on this list. You know what I'm saying? Of 50 guys. So don't take that lightly, G. But the creativity is fucking almost gone to a certain degree. But that's why our genre, our lane is thriving. Because we have a lot of different stuff. I went to look at Dope, and I was thinking about what you said about different there's a certain sound, but they did it. They're doing a good job now. They had Crime Apple, Let Them Cook, SD Knack, Giallo Point, Vic Spencer, Chris Crack. Those are all 4 different sounds than the Griselda sound. So they kind of branched out. Roman's on there now. They branched out. But in the beginning, they weren't. The beginning, it was just Benny, Conway, West Side Gun. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, but they branched out a little bit. I was really unaware that they released Let Them Cook on Dope. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Oh, well, Pounds on there too. Pounds had a release on there. Shout out Pounds.
That guy's dope. I heard the name a whole bunch of times, and he only came onto my radar as an MC like maybe in the last like 6 months or so. And like that guy can definitely spit.
Yeah, he
bars, man. He can come hard.
He got the weed.
You know, it's not that I think a lot of the MCs sound the same or you know, but it's the beat selection and the way that the music sounds.
I get it. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like anything. You know, you get too much of the same thing for too long, and you start to crave something else.
Indeed.
So I felt like anything, people go back to what they know. We're seeing a nostalgia era. So I felt like I wanted to take the approach to continue doing what I'm doing and do it in a specific way so that when that turn happens, that I'm already giving fans something different from everybody else. And I'm, you know, because I always felt like it would just go back to people wanting hardcore lyrical bar work and battle rap because it's just gladiator school at the end of the day.
That's right.
You know, and that's where I came up. I came up in like a literal gladiator school, rhyming and battling guys twice my size and sometimes a lot of years older than me, incarcerated. And that was the rawest, purest form of doing this shit. And I think that because I feel like guys are starting to realize that a lot of this shit is made up, and the fans are kind of there's a magic that can exist for a certain amount of time. But when you have too many people who take away from it by doing it, unauthentically and misrepresenting the genre, the subgenre, then things become stale, and the people start to take notice, and the ones who might have authentically been existing stop existing. Yes, because it's all one big blur to the fans.
Exactly.
So
Lukey said it the other day best. You know, he said he likes whack motherfuckers because it lets you know who the good motherfuckers are, right?
True.
But at the same time, to your point, we reached a point of saturation where now so many, well, and it's slowed down a little bit in 2025, I think. But there was a point when there were so many releases coming out from everybody, right? And everybody, I don't want to generalize and say everybody, but you know what I'm getting at. There were, like you said, thematically things were so similar, aesthetics so similar, the subject matter was so similar from the good of the good that were doing it in a way where you were like, yes, chef's kiss, this is excellent, to the generics that are just dumping the same recycled lines that we've heard 18 people saying.
After a while, and the eyes of it all becomes a blob.
Exactly, because there was just so much of it that was out. You couldn't take the time to like sort through and be like, oh yeah, I found the gems. It was just like, I don't have time for this, and you just were kind of sticking to the names you knew.
You touch on it, and you said things have slowed down a little bit in 2025. I've noticed a shift in 2025, not just in the level, because remember, you're talking about a volume that only a select few would be able to keep up with.
Right, correct.
People can't just keep dropping an album every month or two forever. Eventually, you just can't do it. Mm-hmm. What I've noticed is there's been a slowing down. I mean, even myself, we're already going into June, and I've only, dropped 2. And I mean, that's different from last year. But I noticed that we're seeing a lot of new faces that aren't copycats of old shit. Yeah. We're seeing, I'd say Jay Roberts is one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shout out Jay
Roberts.
Shout out Jay Roberts.
But I really took notice of him when he dropped on bars. Of course, he was, Canadian. He's Irish, but he's living in Canada now. He reps Canada as well. So I wanted to listen. He came pretty shortly after one of my releases. And I was like, this guy can really rap. And he does he's got his own sound. He's kind of taking this piece of what's hot here, but he's doing his own variation of it and taking an approach that isn't copycatting anybody. He's Irish. He's a pretty, he's got his own style and his own image that he does. Yeah. And he came out of nowhere as far as, again, dropped on bars, sold out in the same day, and then boom, 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 the conversation changed for him. So shout out to the homie Jay Roberts, man. But
issue 158, by the way.
Oh, I was looking for it.
It's great to see the fans, and and then myself as well. I have a different sound, right?
Yes.
Sound. So it's great to see the listeners starting to open up and obviously wanting something different from new faces. Action Figure is another one. Look at Vegas 7, the Ronin. It took me a minute to tap in with his music because at the point I heard about him, I kind of just heard so much stuff that sounded the same. I just kind of, but when I did take his stuff in, it literally blew my fucking mind. Like I was like, this guy is the sharpest pen.
Yeah,
and he does it different. And his wordplay is his own. His style is his own. It's actually very reminiscent when he goes hard. Like the first joint on the Ghost Orchid album is my favorite song I've heard of 2025. That's my favorite.
Ghost Orchid is so insane, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ghost Orchid is a great project.
Yeah, my CDs are coming in tomorrow, man. Tomorrow.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I haven't seen that yet.
I had a brief conversation with, I've had a couple brief back and forths with Vegas 7. Like I said, anybody that I feel he inspired my pen. And nobody inspires my pen. Other rappers don't inspire my fucking pen. I don't listen to other rappers to rap dope. I listen to like Led Zeppelin or throw on some old fucking Boston records or some movie symphony scores and some Viking music of all Nordic, authentic Nordic instrumentation. What I listen to write, to get inspiration. But like I heard Vegas 7 and I felt I had to sharpen my own pen. And it inspired me to do that. And guys don't really do that. And he's a really humble guy. And I definitely, got some kudos from him. So getting any kudos from somebody who, he was aware of who I was, which is always a blessing when you talk to somebody and they're like, yo, your shit's really dope too. And to see someone taking the different approach who's dominating, he's dominating this year. He's killing everybody. Nobody's fucking with him. If we're going by the album sales and the fan demand for the variants and all that kind of stuff. He's really taken the spot this year. And he did it with a style that isn't emulating anybody else. And I like that.
Issue 124.
I want to, good, Carl. Hey, yo, Words, I think,
high five, Carl.
I think right now, I like music, including yours, it makes me want to fight.
Yeah, word up.
You know what I'm saying? Even though you are telling stories and you're bearing your soul, I guess I wasn't on my toes ready to fight, but I'm still ready to fight. I hear Vega, I'm ready to fight. I hear Pro, I want to fight. You know what I'm saying? I just want to fight. But yeah, Boydie Rock don't make me want to fight. He make me want to like dance or have fun. He makes me laugh. Yeah. But like still.
Is it about fighting and real, like, because I mean, the music I make is made to make people want to fight through whatever. It's not about fighting, punch and kick. Like, it's about fight, man. Like, never fucking, don't let anyone ever tell you can't do some shit. And if they tell you, smack them in the face and walk over top of their fucking unconscious body. Don't ever take shit from people. And don't let anyone tell you can't do some shit. And
I fuck with
don't let other people tell you what your success is supposed to be measured by.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. See,
Daniel's son too, make me want to fight.
But see, that's the type of genre of music where you just explained exactly the type of music I'm into. I hate low self-esteem music, man. I talk about it all the time. I don't like hearing people that aren't confident or having low self-esteem music. I can't stand it. People, making a celebration out of being a sucker. You know what I mean? Making a celebration and trying to be relatable to failing in life or to not trying to be the best person you can be.
Right.
I want to hear music that's inspiring, that wants to push you, that has you aspiring to something, that has you looking forward to being able to overcome adversity, stuff like that. Triumph, Wu-Tang Clan, Champion, you know what I mean? Like songs that get you to puff your chest out and be like, yeah, we out here, like I wish somebody would attempt. We're untouchable.
When you talked about the album, The Path to Broken Glass, and then how
full circle.
You saw it as, talking about how, the journey is pain and walking your destiny is pain or going after where you want. And it is. Growth is pain. If you could do it and it was painless, everyone would fucking do it.
Everyone would do it.
If you could go to the gym and just touch a weight and get huge, then everybody would be at the gym getting huge. But you don't. You got to go hurt and fucking want to kill yourself because it sucks. It's awfully and agonizing.
Yep.
Training for a fight is one of the worst. I don't care if you're fighting amateur or you're fighting professional. They're both in sync with where you're at and conditioned and capable as a human. So either way, both training methods are fucking agonizing. And most times you want to quit and say, fuck this shit and just leave because it's horrible. And that's what makes it special when you do it, because not everybody can fucking do it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because so many people, I mean, not so many, I'd say the vast majority of people who give me advice or who give anybody trying to pursue anything advice are people who've never done it. And if they tried to, they didn't succeed in any fashion at it. It doesn't come from any experience except either failure or never having tried in the first place.
Talk that shit, Words. Why am I listening to people on the sideline? I'm out here playing in game 6 of the finals. And some random dumb fuck is trying to tell me how I don't have the heart to make it. And they've never done shit in their life. They can barely even wake up in the morning to fucking walk their dog, and they just let them shit in the house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, where's your discipline at, bitch? Come on, man.
Hey, yo, check it out. I'm gonna say this till we transition to something else, man. It's like somebody make a professional league and average 14 or 14, and you got people talking bad about them.
Fuck Angel Reese, man. Stop talking about her. Anyway, man. So, check it out. Check it out, Words.
I got one more thing to say. Yo, old Droog said,
ain't shit, man.
One day, yo, old Droog said, he said, nowadays you got to be a success to be considered a failure. Then he says, gyms. Yeah. Yo, Droog. But yo, Droog blocked me. I don't know why he did.
The road to success is paved with 1,000 failures.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like kind of look, nobody sees the failures.
Nope.
Right? Nobody sees all that shit. Nobody sees the hours of training and the puking and the wanting to die and the not being able to sleep and starving yourself that goes into the fight. They only see two gladiators get in a cage or a ring and beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
they have no concept of what those people went through and actually put themselves through and experienced to be able to do that.
It's the same as any overnight success is 10 years in the making.
That's what they said.
You just don't see it.
Unless
you see them coming out of nowhere. But trust me, there's bricks there. They had to lay that foundation.
The amount of people who tell me what I should do, they're like, you know what you should do, Words? I'm like, oh, yeah, you lay it on me, man. Tell me what I should do from your vast experience in the field.
Share with me. What should I be doing? What have you done?
So
go ahead.
You know what? The shitty thing is a lot of that shit comes from family. I mean, I'm not being front. Like a lot of people, it comes from people
close about that.
People around me.
Who think they know what's best. No clue.
And that's a soul killer for a lot of people, man, because they think those people, those are the people they want. They're actually, I find, a lot of the time we're doing it because we want to make people we love proud of us.
Correct.
We want to do something great. And when they're not receiving that or they're not supporting that, because I think maybe they're afraid of you failing and they don't want to see you fail, but that's kind of like
they don't want to see you experience pain or something. Talk your shit. Exactly. You can't bubble wrap me from the world, man.
At the same time, remember that when you're trying to be great, it means you might soar off somewhere else. And you got to remember, everybody might not be giving you advice because they think they're doing what's best for you. It might be what's best for them. And keeping you close might be what's best for them and whatever they need from you. And so when people are telling you stuff, it could be coming from strictly from a place of wanting to convince you not to do things that might take you over here and take you away from them. And there's a lot of toxicity in trying to be an artist. So that's why when I see these guys doing it consistently and I see people putting in this crazy work and grinding it out and guys rising through, putting out, guys getting finally seen or discussed in, being in the conversation, I know what they put into that and I know what they probably had to endure from people around them. Especially we're not talking about 25-year-old rappers here. We're all well into our 30s and 40s, which is
grown people.
There's a genre for this, but we're talking grown men and who are with families who have their own responsibilities and have their own and people around them's expectations they're trying to meet and still managing to put out this music and keep it consistent and keep it dope, and keep it in high volume. So there's a level of respect that has to be given to anybody really putting in that work. If you like their music or not, you have to respect what I have to respect. I can't tell anybody else what they have to respect, but I have to respect due to the fact I know what they likely went through to be able to do this, that they probably went through a lot of trials and tribulations and it was not easy to make all that music. So, I have nothing but, love for the honor of creating art and the shit we have to do as grown men to keep making it. We're not 20-year-olds hanging out with our buddies with all the world in front of us. We got people who are like, yo, put that food on the fucking table. You got bills to pay. You got family shit to do. You got this person. You got your kids fucking, dance recital. You got your kids hockey game. You got people are put in that fucking work. So big ups to all the dudes putting in that work. Whether I like your music or not, I know what you're doing to do it. So much love.
Definitely.
Carl, what we got, bro?
Shit, Word.
Carl, that's what we got, bro.
Yeah, and I can't believe it's already been an hour and a half because we're going to have like a part 3 because we could do this all night. We could hang. You know what I mean?
An actual date this time in advance because Primo hits me up. He's like, "You good for Tuesday, bro?" And I'm like,
"Oh yeah."
Last I heard was May. That's all I got. We're booked until May, and that was it. We're booked till May. I'm like, okay, cool. And then you ready for Tuesday Words? I'm like, if we're having an interview, I'm always ready. But
the last time we talked about it was like, I feel like it was like January or March or something, maybe even.
Dude, that was like a gnat fly, man. I was like, yo, Lukey, tell Primo I need to get on the show.
I
told you 3 months ago, bro. We're booked up for 6 months, and then the next time I asked him, we're booked up for 8 months. So
I got you though. But you see, I got you though, man. We here, man.
Yeah,
I told you,
man. This is a really dope conversation. I'm actually
this is
really,
a great one.
Yo, I'm really, we should do a part 3. You know, I know you guys are booked up for some time, but let's sort it out. I'd love to do it and keep it coming, man.
September 2027. I got you, man. You coming back?
2027.
2027/28 question mark.
No, 28. No. We ain't booking 28 yet.
No, we're gonna get you before then.
Yeah, man. No, say less, man. We good, man. No, Carl, man, go on, Carl. You were talking,
so
man.
I'm just super happy that you've continued to roll out these incredible projects and bless us with this product. I definitely, the year that you're having so far, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the mid-year review with the all-time guys again. So I know you're definitely going to be heavily discussed in that conversation as well, because what you've been doing so far is amazing, and I'm a big fan of it. So just keep blessing us with it.
Thank you, man.
Word up. Primo Jab, what else you got, bro?
Hey, man. I don't want to draw it out too much longer, but I wanted to hit you with a top 5.
Hit him
while we were talking.
I was gonna. Go ahead.
If you have one, Luke, you can. But no.
I was gonna do it when we was talking about DMX, Dark as Hell and Hot.
See, and that's same. I was gonna go in there. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Just like to your point again, words, man. Like I got kind of derailed by just the dopeness of the conversation that we have, and it just kicking it, man. I'm glad you came back for part 2. I missed out on the first one. I didn't get to sit here. So this is our first time really like kicking it. And just like, the level, the way you carry yourself, your approach, your mentality, your fighter spirit is so evident in all that you do, man. And the way that you are handling or interpreting the game of the Abyss, right? I wrote down like 3 words that I just think are the epitome of what we've been on tonight and just really represent respect being one of them, just the respect that you have for, again, the game, but also for the people that you interact with and the contributions that they've played by just speaking life into you, man. The way you honored Vanderslice, the way you talk about Jay Royale, the way you talk about Mav, like they were just the respect and just the way that you have a respect for, hey, this is the way the game goes. This is what this is, and this like the way that you realize you get it, man. So respect is a big thing. Honor, having a code and how you plan on carrying yourself, it comes through. That you're not going to let things reach a certain level, man, that you have certain standards for yourself. It's clear, man. So honor, another word that put in there. And then again, humility, that goes back to the fact that you're not ashamed to say that Vega made you push your pen or that Vega 7 inspired you, like being humble enough to be like, yo, like, I get it. I want to be the best I can. And I'm hearing somebody that makes me want to listen to something or other than just random music, right? I'm listening to another MC, and that's helping me become a better MC. So, hey, man, it's just been an honor to have you here, man. You dropped a lot of jewels today, man. Thanks for kicking it with us, man. Part 3 coming up soon, man.
It means a lot, man. Get me all emotional, man. Thank you. Like, that's some real shit, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No doubt.
I'm humbled. I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you.
No doubt. Hey, yo, what's that shirt? Before we get out of here, what's the shirt?
Yo, this is Jean-Charles Skarbowski, man. He's a French Muay Thai fighter. He was on The Ultimate Fighter when George St. Pierre was coaching. He brought him in. He was the drunk guy with the cigarettes who got in and beat the shit out of everybody. And all these pro MMA fighters couldn't fuck with him. He just beat him already shit-faced drunk all the time, man.
That's hilarious.
I didn't know someone was drunk. I remember that shit. I didn't know someone was drunk.
This is done by the dude who did this is done by the dude who did the cover for my No Hooks Just Elbows album.
Okay.
Yeah, No Hooks Just Elbows.
He makes fight-style cartoon. He actually draws this stuff. He's really, really dope. My man Sonny. So he's out of Guam. You know,
oh, nice. Really? Shout out Guam.
His name is at Heroes and Head Kicks on Instagram. If anybody's interested, he does great work.
And Heroes and Head Kicks, man. At Heroes and Head Kicks, bet.
I really wanted to thank you guys for having me. Like, I think this was like a really different kind of conversation. There was just constant energy flowing. There was a lot of we all see. You guys see, you know what I mean. So when you're talking to people who can see. You know, they have the glasses on, or I guess another way you look at it, maybe they have the glasses off, whatever, however you look at it. But you know, we're all like-minded guys trying to, you know, do it for the culture, whether it be for the artists, for the, you know, for the fans or for the whole of hip hop. It's, you know, it's always a pleasure talking with you guys. And thank you for the kudos at the end. I wasn't really expecting that. So thank you. I really, really appreciate that. I just want to take a minute because like there's some people I want to shout out. I don't really take the time to do that, but I feel like sometimes I miss out on some important people that I want to say hello to. You know what I mean? My wife Ruja, my daughter Emma, you know, my daughter Casey, who I don't unfortunately get to see. Her mom's taking me.
What's her name?
Casey.
Casey. I thought you said JC. That's my daughter's name. Shout out to Casey. Yeah. I was like, oh, twins. Go ahead.
And you know, I don't get shout outs to my dead homie Awful P. If you notice if you've ever bought my stuff on the back, it says all right, Awful P on everything I've ever dropped. You know, since he passed. So but yo, and all my producers, IQ, DJ Invasion, you know, Vanderslice, of course, Dark Arts, DJ TMB, Skinny Bones.
Shout out DJ TMB.
My boy Al Capella. And shout out to everybody I mentioned throughout the interview. And, you know, if you've ever inspired me and we've had conversations, I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing what 2025 brings for myself and all the other dudes in the game, in the wave, trying to get heard, man. And as long as dudes are trying to be healthy with their competition, I'm always open. I'm always open to it. I'm always up for it. You know what I mean?
Nice. Spar. Yeah, let's spar. Also, I want to give one other shout out before we hop out of here. The Rooster.
Shout him out.
The Rasta. Anyway, boom. Yeah, because he did the alternate cover for the
he did.
Yeah, shout out him because I've been knowing for a long time.
And he did the Machine Love 2 cover as well. So and Machine Love 1. And Machine Love 1. Yep. So shout out to the Rasta. Yeah, absolutely, man. Big up to him.
Yeah, I've been knowing him for a while.
Out there in Deutschland. Smoking mushrooms in fucking Germany like a madman.
Smoking mad flavors over there.
And I'm glad that I brought that back full circle because the Knicks should be up now. You know what I'm saying? Word. Boom. We'll see how motherfuckers. Hopefully.
Come here. This is my lovely wife, Ruja.
Hi.
Just walking the door. She was trying to leave me alone while I talk to all you fucking maniacs.
And she's got the Tool hoodie on. I love the Tool hoodie.
Yeah.
You guys have fun.
Was so boom. So every once in a while, I'll be like, tell your wife, I said, don't say nothing, word, just say. Yeah. So Carl, when I say tell E, I said, Miss Jab, say, I ain't say no words, just.
I feel you. Respect.
Word.
There it is.
Yeah. What? I didn't make that up. My homie Slick said, he always just say, tell your mom. I said what? How am I saying that on the phone? Word. So my mom said, Slick said, word. It's so silly, man. Anyway, we'll see y'all episode 197. Yeah, remember, words can beat your ass. Word, literally.
Word up. Much love to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, yo. Boo.